Hi, my name is Austin Stringfellow, and today I'm going to walk you through on how to properly change your oil. And there is a common misconception when it comes to changing your oil. It is not that hard. Anyone can do it. It's simple, easy, as long as you follow certain steps. And if you do the same steps every time, you will have a 100% success rate. And when it comes to any vehicle, cleanliness is right next to godliness. So if you want to have a successful oil change, a clean vehicle is always a great place to start. So I recommend if a vehicle comes in or you're doing your own vehicle or anything of that sort, wash it first. If it's dirty, wash it. Even if it looks clean, it's probably going to be dirty underneath. So I always recommend washing vehicles. Wash them right before, wash the engine bay, clean out all the gunk, take all the skid plates underneath off. A lot of them have a salt guard under there, and that's going to have to come off anyway before you do an oil change. So it's just, might as well get that out of the way to begin with. Step two, you're going to want to jack up the vehicle, or if you're lucky enough, if you have a lift, put it on a lift, get it up in the air, get it so where you can get to it. But if you're like the majority of people and don't have a lift, when you put it up on jack, make sure you have it on jack stands or some sort of block. Just to be safe. You never ever trust a jack. Hydraulic pressure is not something you want to put your faith in. So a solid steel jack stand, that's going to be your best bet anytime. Number three, you're going to want to drain the oil. Get a bucket, get a pan, get any sort of container. Make sure it's big enough to hold the oil capacity of your car. Put it under there, take the drain plug out, drain your drain plug or drain your oil out of your engine, and just let it drain. And I always like to pull the dipstick out of the top while it's draining to act as a vent, so it actually drains a little bit faster and gets the majority of the oil out. Step four, you're going to want to do your oil filter next. Take your old oil filter off. And sometimes, especially on bigger engines like semis, tractors, and things of that nature, you're going to want to drain the filter while it's still on the vehicle. And I'll like to take a punch and a hammer, and you put the punch up on the bottom of the filter if it's a bottom spin on, and you poke a hole through the bottom of it and you let it drain that way, and then you spin the filter off. It makes a heck of a lot less of a mess. You can drain it into the same bucket you're draining your oil into out of the engine, and it saves you a lot of an ache when you're getting engine oil all over the engine, all over your hands, all over the floor. It just makes it a real pain. So if you can do that to avoid that mess, it makes your life 1,000 times easier. Step five, you're going to want to take the oil filter off if you were draining it. If you're draining it, you want to take it off, but if you weren't, you'd already have this step done. And another big thing that kind of goes with step five with your oil that you just drained, you want to check it for contaminants, any like silver flaking, debris, material, nastiness. You don't want any of that. If you got that, you've got bigger problems on your hand. Step six, you're going to want to replace the oil filter. Make sure you put some oil around the O-ring that's on the face of the filter. Make sure you have a nice seal onto it. And then step seven, replace your oil. Step eight, lower your vehicle down and clean off any fingerprints.